Hello guys, today we're doing another mod overview for Total War Rome 2. So, I like to play against unique factions in my campaigns. When I'm fighting against a faction, I want it so that the enemy has access to some cool and decent units as well. The problem with Rome 2, however, is that a lot of these enemy factions in the late game are minor nations who are not able to bring those decent units to the field. This is why I use unit mods myself, even though I'm not playing a certain faction. The Barbarian and Greek minor factions do have decent rosters, they got a couple of good units in there usually, however the Eastern, African and Arabian factions are simply disappointing and terrible. I already found and showed you some good unit packs for the Easterners and Arabians, however I was never able to find a good one for the African factions. A few days ago a guy named William uploaded this North African unit expansion, which finally adds more detail to the Numidians and African factions, and that is the mod I want to discuss in this video. So the modification adds a total of 11 completely new land units, 4 completely new naval units, it unlocks 3 existing units and it also reskins 5 different existing units already in the game. All new units are historically accurate and available to both the player and the AI. The Numidian units are only available to the Gaetuli and the Masaesyli, the Numidian factions. The large shield warriors and African spear levies are only available for the Garamantians and the Nasamones. Let's first take a look at these completely new units that the mod adds. So in the base game, all of these 4 factions do not have access to any sword infantry, and this mod will obviously change that. Berber tribal warriors are a cheap light infantry unit with overall decent stats for the price. The rapid advance and frenzied charge abilities make them able to do massive damage on their charges, and they also have access to a pila throw. The heavy version of these guys are the Berber noble warriors, which is an elite unit with great melee stats. They lack the charge abilities but are able to form a Shieldwall and also have the encourage ability to inspire nearby allies. The Numidians have also access to Numidian legionaries, which is a medium priced heavy infantry unit, very similar but weaker than the Roman legionaries. They do have access to testudo formations and formation attacks, which can make them a very handy unit for the cost of only 600 talents. In the spear department there are a lot of differences between Numidians and the other Africans. Numidians have access to Numidian spearmen, which is an all-round levy spear unit with a good bonus versus cavalry. Numidian light spears are a faster and lighter version of these guys, able to use the whip and perform a frenzied charge. A third cheap spear unit, which is shared for all the factions, is the Garamantian warrior unit. These guys have average stats but are able to deploy and stay hidden anywhere on the map. They can move hidden in any terrain, which makes them very special and very handy. Numidians will still have access to their vanilla elite unit, the Numidian noble infantry. Besides the Garamantian warriors, the other African factions will still have access to the vanilla levy spearmen and large shield warriors. All factions got a new missile unit as well, which is the Berber javelin men. They are similar to the vanilla javelin units but are far better in melee combat because of a decent attack, defense and armor for a skirmishing unit. A weird thing is that all these factions do not have access to any melee or shock cavalry units in the base game, which is simply disappointing. This mod will add 1 medium melee unit, a melee cavalry unit, and also 1 medium shock cavalry unit to all the African factions to make them able to do at least something in battles. Berber cavalry are medium shock cavalry unit with good stats, especially their defense is very high. They also have access to a spear throw, which is quite unique for a shock cavalry unit. I think it's the only shock cavalry unit in the game with a pila throw. Their armor is lacking though, so they are very vulnerable to missile fire. The melee cavalry unit is imported camel cavalry. A melee unit with weak stats, however they do have access to some pretty cool abilities and traits. Rapid advance and trample give them a good charge bonus for melee cavalry, and they also have access to resistance to fatigue and scare horses. The Numidians also have access to 1 new Skirmisher cavalry unit, which is the Numidian veteran cavalry. They are an improved version of the regular Numidian cavalry. The last new units are the Garamantian desert chariots and the Garamantian heavy chariots. They are basically improved versions of the chariot raiders with both good melee and missile attack. The Garamantian heavy chariots can be compared with the Greek skidded chariots, so they can also be very deadly in melee engagement. With these new units the Africans are able to bring some resistance on the field, which is always better than nothing. Berber noble infantry and Berber tribal warriors also got 4 unique naval units to support the Africans and to give them some more power on the seas as well. Last but not least, I will show you the reskins of existing units. These are Numidian Cavalry, Large Shield Warriors, African Spear Levy, Numidian Javelin Men and Numidian Spearmen. African Elephant units have also been made available for the African factions, including the armored version. A great addition for your campaign overall. Please note that you need an all faction unlock mod to be able to play with the African factions though. All links to the mod are in the description. Be sure to check out my channel for more mod overviews and other stuff. I also did videos on Eastern factions and Arabian. If you are interested in unit packs for them, you can check that out on my channel. For now, I hope that you enjoyed this one and I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Bye bye.